Hello, peoples of the internet. I am currently just sitting outside. I'm actually in a hammock, so I'm just relaxing. And I thought I would try to do a short video on purifying. Now, purifying is something that I learned to do a couple of years ago. We're in BC, Canada, in the Okanagan Valley, and we had a lot of fires here over the last couple of years. And I know that the Americans on the West Coast have also had a lot of fires. And with the fires, we've had a lot of smoky airs. And what the God Source had said to me is to collapse the fear programs in regards to the smoke and in regards to the fires, because smoke and fires are a natural, normal part of this existence and this reality. In one of my earlier videos, I talk a lot about like speaking directly to the sinuses and telling the sinuses, no, we're not doing this. We're not inflaming, we're not putting off the histamines and creating an inflammation process. We're not doing that. So that's a lot of activity or practice I do when there's smoke in the air, because my body rejects the smoke. And so what I was doing a lot of was this purifying. And so what is purifying? So purifying is something that we can do within our bubble of how far out our heart space goes. So for as far out as your heart space goes, you can do this process of purification. And I see it almost like literally like a dome, like a bubble of like auric space and light, where I'm in connection or communication with the plants and the plant beings within that auric space. And what I'm doing is actually connecting into the plants and into the plant beings. I'm connecting into them, and then I'm inviting them to purify. And what is purifying? So purify is something that plants, the plant kingdom naturally does. It alchemizes the air through itself as part of its process of nourishment and light and healing. And so I'm just actually engaging its natural process and using my free will as a human being to ask it to purify. And what happens is then we get more purification within that dome, within that space. And that's a part that I can do to help myself and help the plants and animals and the beings within my space, in my alchemical space. And the more you practice this, the further out you can reach. And something the God Source was showing me is like, if you've traversed to that space and you've had connection with the plants, the plant kingdom in that space, you can actually access the plants in that space as well as the space that you're currently in. You would just reach out your space to those connections, to those plant beings, and again holding that space of purify. And purifying is a returning to the original state. So people think purifying is cleansing and like clearing a space, like cleaning it. And it's not actually about cleaning, it's about returning to an original state. And the idea of purifying being cleaning is actually a European program or belief system of like cleanliness is godliness is the program. And it's saying that the cleaner you are, the more godly it is. And that's not true. The truth is, the more purified it is, the more it returns to its original states, the more divine it becomes. And it was showing me like the idea of a forest. A forest isn't clean, as in sterile And that's the idea of the colonial sort of mindset, is of cleanliness. And the truth is that it isn't about being sterile. A forest is not sterile. A forest is full of life, full of activity, of bacteria and the mushroom kingdom, and of all of those natural parts of the forest. So my son was just coming in there, so I was just giving him a wave. So we want to collapse that mindset, because that's a colonial mindset. Actually, if you think of a sterile room has no bacteria in it, and that's the idea of cleanliness is godliness. But sterility means no life. There's no life there. And it's good if you're about to have a surgery, but it's not good for the earth plane. Even inside the human body, we have an ecosystem inside the human body. And again, it's filled with little beings of life. We don't like to think of this as human beings, but yeah, we are an ecosystem, and we're embedded in a greater ecosystem. And so when we purify our own ecosystem, that's about bringing it back to its origins, to its original state. And so when I put out purify, 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 which is a code, into that bubble that I can access of nature, I'm using my free will to ask nature to return to an original state of existing. And so I'm not telling it what to do. I'm just initiating the purification process, which it already knows how to do it. I'm not going to tell the trees how to do it, and the plants and the grass. It already knows how. But I'm working with it in order to purify, to return to the original state. The air, the earth, the water, the fire, the ethers. And so it's a good practice. It kind of reminds me of working with the water. And there's studies on this. Masaru Emoto, I believe his name is. He does a lot of studies on the water. And he did a lot of studies on the water. His society does the studies now, because sadly he's passed, sadly for the earth plane, but he's continued his journey. And I'm sure he's bringing a lot of light to the other side. And he definitely did a good job on his journey as far as being in alignment with his purpose, and brought a lot of information in for us to continue to have at this time period. So when we're working with water, and like our human body is made of majority water. So what we say to ourselves matters, right? Just like he found in the water, what you say to the water mattered. It altered the formation of the water. Just like what you say inside your water matters, it alters the formation of your water. So if you say, I'm stupid and dumb, you're altering the formation of your water. But if you say, I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm doing the best I can, I love myself even here, I'm safe even here, you're altering the formation of your water in positive ways, in healing ways, in healthy ways, in returning to the purification. And so we can purify water just by saying loving things to it. And that's what the shaman used to do in the old day. They would put healings into the water. They would ask the water to bring healings into the human. And so they would put certain words and prayers into the water. But you can put certain words and prayers directly into your own water, even without ingesting water. But it's a good practice to do. So I do the same thing when I take water from a tap, or if I'm putting water on my plants. I'll ask it, purify, purify, purify. Pour love and regulation and balance and harmony. Harmonize this water for best and highest well-being of the living being that I'm about to share it with. That's what I like to do with the water. And when I speak into the bubble around me, I say purify, purify, purify. Purify the air, earth, water, fire, ethers. Purify the space around me. Bring harmonic frequency, which is the God source frequency. The harmonic frequency is the balance of all. It's at the center of all. It's what we would call love of God, of the God source, is harmonic frequency. So I would ask it to bring the harmonic frequency into the purification space. Here we go again. I'm going again because my battery died, earthly human problems and issues. And so I believe I was talking about the harmonic frequency, which is the God source's frequency. At the center of it is the highest frequency we can access, and that's called harmonic frequency. And we pull that into water or into purification of any kind that we're doing, which is a return to the natural order. And so what I do is I imagine that bubble around as far out as my heart can spread, as far out as I can access in the plant kingdom. And then I just guide the way and say, purify, purify, purify. It's a code. And we all work together to bring it back to the natural order, which is in best and highest well-being of the plants, animals, air, earth, water, for the humans, for the house, for the animals. It's good for all. And so also into the water sources when you do that as well. So I think that's about it. I'm just going to do a quick release on any belief systems, old modes of functioning, old ways of existing in regards to sterility being cleanliness, when in reality this universe is nothing is sterile. What's sterile dies. Sterility means the death of. And I'll do another deeper dive into that for the release that I got in regards to that information, so that we can really understand like where that belief system came from and why it's important to let it go, because sterility isn't godliness. That's not true. Original order is godliness, is the divine nature, is how it was originally meant to be. So Source God Mother, I acknowledge and accept everything that we've been speaking of so far today, and I clear, cleanse, and heal these old belief systems, old modes of functioning, old ways of existing. I disintegrate them back to dust. Mindsets, contracts, binds, barriers, trigger points, any barriers to my connection with my own power, with my own source, with my own right to my own free will, and any barriers between me connecting with the plant kingdom, which is our buddies, our friends, and just asking them to do what they already do, which is to purify, which is to bring it back to the natural order. And we just want to clear that from our mind, body, spirits, and souls. And remember that we're all one on this earth plane, and that we can use our free will for things like that. And remembering that we can do that with the water sources, and that's good to do that within our own bodies, because our bodies are a water source. And we have to think, do you want, healthy fractalization in your body, or do you want, healthy defractalization in your body? And how we speak to ourselves matters. And how we speak to, the plants and animals around us matters. And we clear, cleanse, heal, neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize any old programs, old modes of functioning, frozen pain spaces from our mind, body, spirits, and souls. Purify our internal water systems and give purity codes into those spaces, and allow ourselves to clear any binds, barriers, contracts, modes of functioning from those spaces. Literally dams of debris that were implemented through old ways of existing this lifetime, past lifetimes, the ancestral lineages, so that we can begin to access these spaces. We clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now, pass the DNA and RNA into the God space of first creation, We clear, cleanse, and heal the old DNA and RNA back to dust, and we initiate the new. That's the other thing I want to share, is that when we purify like that, we're offering our healing codes and our information, knowledge, and wisdom. We're sharing it with the plant species, and they're sharing it with us. And that's another way to just offer healing and alchemy to the plants in our general area, to our house, to the beings in our house, because when we access that purity codes and that harmonic frequency, everything in the bubble benefits. And so it's another good way to like just cleanse your house and cleanse your area, cleanse your car, you know, all those things. So we can use it in that way as well. I clear, cleanse, and heal all drama, karma, trauma, pull out the dharma, neutralize, purify, clear, cleanse, and heal from the cellular, energetic, and magnetic structures, and from the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds, pulling all of that through to oneness, to wholeness, to peace, to truth, to love. Welcoming those helper frequencies and helper beings into these spaces to continue to help us to clear, cleanse, and heal them, and to access them and to utilize them as we move forward in those good ways. Releasing through the children and up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes and their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil. There's a bee. We're getting some bee energy in here. Yay, we love that. And the bee is the harmonic frequency. It literally gives off a harmonic frequency, and that's why bees are so important. They spread nectar. They go to flower and bring essence to essence, and their frequency, they hoover, you know, their frequency creates a harmonic, and so they're important to the earth plane. You can see the wind is speaking to us and adding to our release as well, clearing, cleansing, and healing. We release through the children and up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes and their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil, in this universe and in the multiverses. Also just doing any clearing, cleansing, healing prayers, pulling in healing codes for the plants, animals, air, earth, water that are within our purification space, and just purifying back to dust at this time. We quantum forgive that we forgot this information, that we didn't, you know, that we weren't utilizing it, that we weren't working together, that we, you know, weren't utilizing our skills and abilities. Instead of going into fear states, we can just, you know, use our connected energy healing states and get benefit and growth. So why not? And we purify back to the God source origins, welcoming those healed helpers, those beings of light, those doctors, healers, and nurses in all realms of existence to continue to purify and alchemize these spaces and drop us into those original blueprints, those original codes, and to continue those healings until completed. And we give so much gratitude and thankfulness to those helper beings and helper frequencies that are here with us, helping us, guiding us, loving us, including the plants, animals, air, earth, water. Thank you, elements and elementals. We love you so much. We're so sorry we forgot to communicate into you and with you and share frequencies and love, but we're beginning to remember how. And just help us to clear that from them as well. We clear, cleanse, and heal that now. We give so much gratitude and thankfulness to those helper beings and helper frequencies, the angels, ancestors, and elementals that are here with us, helping us, guiding us, loving us, holding loving space for us as we remember. And we clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and we're opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With the most ultimate of love and gratitude, we choose this. And just breathe. Again, an etheric breath. And just a little bit of spiritual hygiene. So Source Godmother, please immediately evolute our systems for best and highest well-being, the systems within us and the systems around us. And this is where I use that purification space as well. So not just for me, but for everything within my purification space. The air, earth, water, fire, you know, the elements, the elementals, the animals, the plant kingdoms. Please immediately evolute our systems for best and highest well-being of the systems within us and the systems around us, including those frequencies of our feet. Upgrade those frequencies of our feet in the now moment, so that as we ground down to our feet, we have all the frequencies we need, including triggering our vagus nerve now. Why not? That feels so good. And please root us down into this universe and into the multiverse through our root chakra. It's meant to root us through the Earth star, which is 2 feet below us, into this universe so that we can receive that life force frequency, those healing codes, that love from the natural kingdom, from our buddies. And we just want to clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and we're opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With love and gratitude, we choose this. And I choose this, and breathe another good etheric breath. And just purify, purify, purify. And may we all benefit, and may we all heal, and may we all connect, and may we all feel each other's love and the harmony between us all, and may we create that harmony between us all, and may we find that peace that we're looking for. So just pay attention to how you feel when you do this work. That's a good thing. That shows you sort of like my own experience, as in your own experience. I'm teaching you the ways that I've been taught through the God Source, through my internal self. Nobody taught me these things. The God Source taught me these things. Nature taught me these things. And now I'm teaching them to you. So go ahead and try them and see how it makes you feel. Notice what happens to the air quality. Notice what happens to your allergens, right? Notice what happens when you do this work. And notice your plant growth. You know, that's another thing that I see, like massive plant growth when we do this work. So I'm gonna love you and leave you. Goodbye, take care, and I will see you next time. Lots of love to you. Have a great night, evening, day, wherever you're at. Bye now. Till next time.